Did you know that Australian esports has pulled back to almost nothing? It's not just DreamHack that's gone, but Australian esports has pulled back heavily in the past few years. It all started in 2019 with the Melbourne Esports Open, with massive support from the government, sponsorship from mainstream brands like JB Hi-Fi, and a vision to grow the local scene. The event evolved into something much bigger and better, being DreamHack Melbourne, a world-class festival that finally gave Australia the international esports spotlight that it wanted, along with IEM Sydney happening as well. In March 2024, DreamHack even announced a 5-year deal with the Victorian State Government to stay in Melbourne until 2028, but later that year, it was totally canned. The government funding then seemed to be funneled into IEM Melbourne 2025, another mainstay of the esports and Yeah the Boys movement. But there's been no word since, with no event confirmed, no follow-up, and nothing. It seems like the end of this entire funding pipeline has now come into 2026, and we're not going to see it come back from anything that I've seen publicly or heard privately. And it's not just events disappearing. A lot of the top Australian esports teams have either collapsed entirely or have been sold off as distressed assets for nothing. There are still a couple of the large mainstays floating around and performing fairly well, with Chiefs Esports Club and also Game Zero competing overseas in games like Rocket League and League of Legends across into Taiwan, but nothing else much to speak of. And even at PAX Australia, the esports stage has been downsized and replaced with merch and retail activations, and the spotlight has shifted from competition to commerce. So the reality is the costs went up, the sponsors pulled back, and the esports business model here just stopped working. It's not necessarily that the fans disappeared, but the money certainly did. Australia once hosted these world-class tournaments. It had bustling local communities, and I would know because I was a semi-professional gamer 12 years ago, playing in, competing, commentating, and also running a whole bunch of these, and a lot of them have pulled back to almost nothing with the disappearance of investment money and a lot of the sponsors with it. So now there's no DreamHack, no IEM confirmed, and almost no major organisations left standing. So esports in Australia didn't die overnight, but it's had a slow run out runway, and we're looking to rebuild. What do you think's next? Are you interested in esports in Australia? Would you go to local events?